Hey everybody, how you doing? We're back. Took a couple of days off. No, not really. We didn't take a couple of days off. I've been gone. I have been traveling all over the place. I've had doctor's appointments. I've been to Myrtle Beach. I've been sitting in court with the Scott Spivey thing, and been traveling all over the place. Had to go to Union the other day, last week. All kinds of crazy stuff. But we're back on 97.7 FM, Veterans for Freedom Radio, the Truth and Broadcasting Corporation. Hey, I did that without reading it for the first time.
You did indeed.
I did indeed. And we're back in Swamp Justice Radio on 97.7. And I'm here with the one and only, the illustrious one and only Super Woke News. And we're listening to Swamp Justice. Where facts and fables meet. That's probably the best line in the whole song.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get going, Jim.
All right, so big news on your end. I got a message from you. You're like, call me. Call me. and usually when she does that, it's like 911. And so I just to give a little background. On the Parker's, the Beach Parker's 392 case. Elaine, said 392 like she said Dana Kennedy. It just, Washington University. It just comes out, 392. And I was like, what in the hell are you talking about? I mean, I kind of knew what she was talking about, but I really didn't know what she was talking about. And then I really started to do some digging into that thing. And wow. Okay. So the background is, well, you know what? You tell me the background. Just a quick snippet of what the background of the 392 case is.
The 392 case was filed on December 3rd of 2021. And somewhere about March of 2022, I really noticed what a total bunch of garbage it was. But I came to believe that this case will be the unraveling of Mark Tinsley and this whole charade related to his collusion with Liz Farrell and Mandy Matney and Will Folks and a bunch of other people to push a particular narrative. Anyway, so, but you and I both know that there have been new developments in this 392 case. So I made a lot of content on YouTube, and I think there's even some on my Rumble channel about what's going on in the 392 case. And it's gone on for a while, so there's a lot. There's a lot to it. But apparently, in this case, Mandy Matney was subpoenaed to testify, to sit for a deposition, which, by the way, when you have a lawfully issued subpoena, you really have to respond to it. So Mandy's response was...
Presidents do. I mean...
People do. Little people do. People wearing stupid T-shirts do. And so anyway, Mandy strongly objected to sitting for the subpoena, and she had all kinds of reasons, none of which make any sense to me. What comes across to me is she is really afraid of being deposed, and she really doesn't understand what a deposition is. And it's too bad Mandy doesn't have. It's too bad she doesn't have credible attorneys nearby that she could reach out to that could explain to her, "Hey, lady, people get deposed, and you just have to sit through it, and life's a bitch." Anyway, but the other day. What was it? 2 days ago, I got subpoenaed.
Yay.
In the 392 case.
You got subpoenaed.
I did. And I have to tell you guys.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. That's what I always say. Welcome to the party. So they do want a lot of stuff. They want all pictures.
They're coming after you.
Oh, stop that. They want all pictures, images, videos in my possession or control that originated from, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they want a lot of stuff. So when I got this subpoena, I said, well, in my life, it's inconvenient. I'm working on the brief in New York. The day of this subpoena is the day that I had set to file this very, very important brief in New York. And it's really inconvenient for me to stop and do get my little butt or my ever increasing butt to somewhere in South Carolina to sit for a deposition for the defendants in this 392 case. And then also lately I've had really high blood pressure that's kind of out of control. So it could be like I could stroke out or have a heart attack and die, which I think is sort of a overridingly important criteria for whether you're going to sit for a deposition. Anyway, so the morning after I got this late at night, and so 9 o'clock in the morning, I called the attorney whose name is on this and said, "Hey, look, I got this subpoena, and I'm happy to cooperate in any way I can. I'll be there. I'll provide whatever you want. I'll provide absolutely everything you want." And my feeling is it's our civic duty. Is it inconvenient? Of course it is. It's inconvenient for anybody, anywhere, anytime. But if we want to be about the truth, and I think that's what drives you, and it certainly is what drives me, we have to be willing to tell the truth under oath, where it counts. So anyway, I'm going to be subpoenaed. And if I am a witness in the 392 case, I can't talk about the case because I'm now a witness, and there is that gag order. And as I read the gag order, I think it would apply to me or anybody. I think it specifically says anybody that's deposed or is a witness in the case. So in that case, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to abide by the gag order and stop talking about it until the case is resolved.
Get out.
It's just a thought. It's just an idea that might be the way citizens of this country actually, we do the right thing.
Citizen, South Carolina. Hey, I saw the governor the other day, by the way. Just a quick side note.
Yeah, you saw him.
Is that Governor Meister over there?
Jim, stop.
I will. All right.
Okay. Now listen, you saw him.
You got a subpoena. And so here's some other interesting news. In the 392 case, Miss Mandy Matney.
Mandy. Oh, Mandy.
She put a motion to reconsider non-party Amanda Matney. Why is her name not Moses, by the way? Amanda Matney, objection to motion to quash for deposition subpoena. That's a lot. Say that 3 times fast.
I'd rather not. So what she wants is a motion for reconsideration because the judge denied her motion to quash. The judge basically said, "You got to appear at this subpoena. At this deposition, sweetheart. Knock it off." And so she says, she's saying, "I want you to reconsider it." And the way this often goes is you don't like what the judge ordered, so you file a motion to reconsider, which the judge routinely just denies. And then, but you're sort of signaling to the judge that you might be appealing to an appellate court on this issue, and she might. And I'm not advising Mandy Matney on her legal issues or her legal strategy, but I think she's a whiny ass crybaby on top of everything else. Suck it up, Buttercup, and go sit for the deposition.
Stop being the good old boy network. The good old boy.
I know. Everything is the good old boys. And you know what she complained about in that.
Can they take one brain cell and take another brain cell and put those 2 brain cells together and come up with something besides good old boy network? Because you wore that the hell out. Every time you don't like something, it's the good old boy network. They're after me. They're harassing me.
Boo-hoo.
Oh,
but Jim,
it's the law. I don't want to deal with the law. I don't want to be the law. I don't want to be I don't have to do anything because I'm a journalist. No, you're not. Okay, sorry. My rant is over. Come up with something better than good old boy network.
No, wait.
Wore the hell out.
But here's the deal. She does talk about the good old boy network. It's not a good old. We got to stop ragging on men. Men are fine, but there is a power elite network. There are people with access to power who abuse it. There's no question. I'm not going to argue with Mandy about that. She's actually right. But one of the things she complained about in her motion for reconsideration was that they asked Liz Farrell about her dating. Now, depositions can be broad. They can ask a lot of questions. If they did, in fact, ask Liz Farrell about her dating, I think they were trying to get to something that was material, which was Liz Farrell dating Mark Tinsley? And that's a legitimate question. But just in general, to inquire about, like for me, I haven't dated since before 1996. In 1996, I met my 3rd husband, and I didn't date during my marriage, and I haven't dated since. And so, but I don't mind if somebody asks me a question about that. I don't mind answering the question. Do I like all these questions? Maybe not. But I don't care. They think they have a reason to know.
Oh, if there's any way I can get in and watch that deposition years, I want to see him. I'm taking bets on that one. The over under on the University of Washington. I haven't come up with
Jim,
the number yet, but
stop it.
there's going to be
Stop it.
a Doctor so and so.
Dr. Loftus. Dr.
Dr.
Loftus.
Loftus. I'm taking the
Yes.
over under on that one too. So
Well, okay, so it's
we'll be
only
taking back. We'll be
it's
taking
only
back
those three though. It's the University of Washington, Dr. Loftus, and Dana Kennedy.
Danny Kennedy. Yeah.
That's all the money you can eke out of me. And
Well,
you say those names more often than I do. And I'm telling you, you have no idea what the University of Washington means to me. Anyway, that's my little update.
I have a clue.
You don't?
So I do.
Okay, wait. No, that's the bet.
No, I have an
bets. No, wait. I'm going to scribble down. I'm not going to scribble down. It's going to come out what the University of Washington means to me. It'll be a matter of public record pretty soon. And I guarantee you. So send me an email what you think it means to me. And if you are right.
Sing the fight song. Sing the fight song. I love the University of Washington.
No, the Franklin High School, our song was, our theme song was Louie Louie. I mean, we were like the goofiest graduating class on the planet. But I was at the University of Washington as a student going, I was an honors student going to law school. I wasn't there to go to football games. And I kind of hate the Huskies. You can delete that. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the University of Washington, and I'm certainly not a fan of any of their sports teams at all.
Well, let's move on to number 3, because in her motion to reconsider,
yes,
somehow I got drugged back into hers. Man, I tell you what, I am living rent free in this person's head. Rent free. I should start charging her rent. Here's what number 3 is in this one here. The court's order does not address or protect Miss Matney from ongoing harassment. Now, let me just preface what she thinks harassment is. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it, but this woman has slandered, defamed, lied about me in numerous platforms of hers.
Yes.
And never, ever, by the way, Mandy, ever have you talked about the evidence that I have ever presented. You only try to discredit and defame and diminish what I have to say. But you can't, because you don't know the evidence. You don't want to know the evidence because you want to make up a story. And your story is to sell something. I don't know what it is. And to help somebody in the legal profession. But anyways, so apparently ongoing harassment. And I guess we're talking about her ongoing harassment. But it says here, not only did the court deny Miss Matney's motion to quash the subpoena in its entirety, but it denies Miss Matney simple protection. She is seeking to shield from harassment both Parker's defendants and the public. So she needs protection from the public. Can't make this up. This is not a typical subpoena in which third-party witness will sit for one deposition about which no public interest is generated.
There's no such thing as that. There's always public interest, almost always in a deposition.
And move on with their life if nothing other than temporary inconvenience occurred. I can't believe an attorney put that in there. This is a high-profile case with a rabid following. Gee, I wonder how the following became rabid. And Miss Matney
a better dictionary, Jim. You need to send her a dictionary.
Yeah,
because she doesn't seem to understand the meaning of what
she created the rabid following. And Miss Matney is a public figure who is a frequent target of online abuse from internet trolls. Well, let me tell you why, Mandy, you're a frequent target of online abuse from internet trolls, because you attack everybody. You defame everybody. You call them names. You call women names. You pretend to be a protector of women. And I've seen your text messages. You rip women apart. You can't wait to defame them. You call them the C word. You call them the B word. You call them anything you can to discredit them between you and Liz. I've seen the text messages. You are not a protector of women. Stop saying you're a protector of women. You're lying about it when you say that. And I'm calling that out because I have the text messages. Your text messages prove it. Anyway, so let's see. Frequent target, internet trolls with intense feelings about the Murdoch homicide case. Woo.
Wait a minute. Do you have intense feelings about? I don't think that mischaracterizes your investigative journalism. you're not investigating that because of intense feelings. You're investigating it because factually there were errors made, and you care about the truth.
Care about the truth.
So Mandy wants
Intense
to
feelings?
gaslight. She wants to
No.
gaslight and diminish you and run you down and mischaracterize. She assumes she knows your motivation when she can't possibly know that. Have you ever had a personal conversation with Mandy Matney? Ever, even once?
Never.
Okay, so she has no idea what your motives are. I hate that. I hate people speculating about that. I really do.
I was hoping I would see her or Liz or David at the Welden Boyd hearing, but no, none
You
of
know
them
the way
showed up.
those
I was there.
protesters,
I
you
was
know the
there.
way, now, Jim, you know the way those NGO paid protesters, they show up at rallies with SpongeBob SquarePants or whatever. They show up in costume. Maybe Liz, David, and Mandy will show up in costume. You know, they'll be the ones in the audience that are dressed like
Yeah.
Green Gumby and whatever.
So she
That
says
is
she
odd
has.
that
Huh?
she doesn't want to be seen in person. Did you notice that? She seems kind of
Well, yeah,
selective
because
about.
she's attacked everybody. No one likes her, and they don't like her.
Oh,
Listen,
darn.
Mandy, nobody likes you because they don't know you. They don't like you because you attack them. You attack their credibility. You attack them having a voice. You attack women. You attack everybody. Stop using the good old boy network. It's the most you overused word that you come up with. The good old boy network.
But it's a dog whistle phrase, and it resonates with her audience.
Anyway, she suffered intensified harassment after Parker's defendants either knowingly or recklessly published her mobile phone on an electronically filed document without redacting it first. That woman, let me just say this, that woman has doxed more people
Yes.
than I care to count, including this sweet old lady who made a comment about her, who was like 75, 80 years old, and completely doxed her. And Mandy didn't care. She's like, I don't give a shit. She shouldn't say those things about me. Well, I do declare. What the
Oh my
hell is
gosh.
wrong with you? You
Oh my
are the
gosh.
biggest doxer on the internet, as far as I'm concerned, in my
From what I
opinion.
hear, she is. Yeah, she and her buddies. What is that? Zoomy and some of those others.
Yeah, Sarah Glass and
Yeah,
the other.
Jim. Speaking of,
But she's received many harassing text messages and calls, and was signed up for unwanted newsletters and membership using the unpublished, or using her published information, and was forced to buy a new phone. Well, first of all, that's not how it works. You don't need to get a new phone. All you have to do is get a new phone number, and they send you a new SIM card, and you take the old SIM card out and you put it into your old phone, and voila, you have a new phone number. So you weren't forced to buy a new phone. You chose to buy a new phone and obtain a new phone number, which, it's about the easiest thing in the world to do at her own expense. And
well, who else's expense would it be? Who else should pay for it?
Extreme inconvenience.
Oh darn! Oh darn!
That took all of about 20 minutes on the internet for her to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not the first time Parker defendants have disrespected the privacy of third-party witnesses.
No.
Well, listen, Mandy, you disrespect the privacy of everybody. So there you go. And in a prior briefing, they included Miss Farrell's historical salary data that they obtained in her deposition for seemingly no reason at all, other than perhaps to harass her. No, they wanted to know for a reason. Okay.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be pre-approved by Mandy Matney. Their reasons are their own. Like they will ask me questions where I'm going to say, gee, I don't really understand why they're asking this. I still have to answer the question, unless there's some, really serious, unless the question is not reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. But Liz Farrell's salary is reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. It is relevant. And frankly, for the most part, they get to decide what they want to ask, and you get the luxury of answering. And what's the big deal? Anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I think Mandy is, my words, a big crybaby. She's just a wah, wah, wah crybaby who thinks she's the center of the universe, and she's not.
Well, she faced, is highlighted by a social media post posted after this court's February 5th order, in which internet creators celebrate that she will be deposed.
Really? How does that celebration go? Is there cake? Are there balloons? I think she's exaggerating. I mean, we can really simplify this.
The crowd loves that one.
They did. Mandy is exaggerating here, sweet. Mandy, you're exaggerating, sweetheart.
No.
I hate to be critical, and sometimes I am, but you are kind of a duplicitous lying cow. But I mean that in the kindest way possible. And you need to stop it. Knock it off. And just man up, woman up, put your big girl pants on and go show up for the deposition and get over it.
So now she's going to, now here come the heartstrings. A serious personal tragedy that required her to travel many states away to support a loved one. Now, good for her. But I think she wasn't required to. Her husband, according to her, said, hey, why don't we go see, so-and-so. I think their husband passed. And they thought, well, that's a good idea. So we called her and said, hey, what are you doing? We want to come out. Yeah, okay. So she wasn't required to. So that's a lie, according to her, because that's not how she explained it. Anyway, so let's move on. Again, nice thing for you to do, but you weren't required to do it. And for example, a content creator, I'm only a content creator. I have now 4 books, working on my 5th. I have my own podcast, a couple of songs, and over 1,000 articles online at crimeandcast.com. By the way, it's crime and A-N-D, not crime ampersand. But we'll read it as it says here. Known as Crime and Cask, with whom the Parker's defendants are alleged to be collaborating.
Who alleged that? Wait a minute. Who alleged that? She should say with whom. See, we have to correct this. We should have edited this. Now listen, Jim, I like to edit things. So what she should have written is with whom we allege Parker is collaborating with Parker. Because the only ones making that allegation are Mandy Matney, Liz Farrell, Mark Tinsley, and probably Eric Bland.
Yeah.
And so
I am not collaborating with Parker's. I don't know Greg Parker. I'm not giving them anything. They're not giving me anything. I'm not being paid a dime by them. I will say this, though. Greg Parker and his gas station gave me some gas. They gave me some gas yesterday, although I had to pay for it. It wasn't bad. It was like $2.35 a gallon, which was pretty good. And they gave me an orange Fanta and a cookie, but I had to pay for that too. So there's that.
Wait a minute. No, there's more to that, because we talked about this last night. Didn't you say it was one of the cleanest, nicest businesses?
Absolutely. And I'm not just saying that. Oh, it is by far. I mean, QT maybe, but QT, it's just different. Everything's lit up so nice. You know how you go and take the lids off to go put on your soda, and you got to sit there and fight with taking 3 or 4 of them apart.
Right.
This one, you just pull the little thing and one pops out. You're like, oh, this is great. And they have the cookies, they had the food, they had chicken, everything's lightly bright in there. And they had the coolest little hand washing things where you put your hands down and the water comes out, and then you move your hands to the side, and all of a sudden it starts blowing out the same thing. So really cool.
Incredible businessman.
I like Parker's. I stop at one every chance I get, not because of this or anything else, because it's probably one of the best gas stations that I've ever been to.
And he built that business. He didn't come from wealth. He built the business himself. I think he's an extraordinary businessman. I was reading, I think it's Mark Tinsley's one of his.
By the way, that's not an advertisement. That's not free.
It's not.
I'm not charging.
I don't know Mark Tinsley. I've never spoken to the guy. I don't know him.
I saw him yesterday. For about 8 hours. I sat 15 feet away from him, and he never looked at me one time.
Mark Tinsley?
No. Anyway, so let's go back to this. Yeah, right. Collaborating. That's a bunch of BS if I've ever heard one. I posted a TikTok on December 24th, 2025. Hey, man, Christmas Eve, I was thinking about Mandy.
That's why I didn't get a gift. I was wondering.
In which he superimposed the text, me walking past Mandy Matney at the Hampton County Courthouse when she gets deposed, over a meme of an actor from the television show The Walking Dead. Known for using barbed wire covered baseball bat to inflict violence. Maybe that's the same. Maybe it's the same baseball bat she put into Buster Murdoch's hand since 2015 or whatever the hell she's been doing. That idiotic statement from walking past and staring menacingly at a younger woman and posting as his caption, "I'll be walking to get my popcorn," and pulling all the text to make sure.
Jim, if it was a younger woman, you obviously weren't referring to Mandy Matney. That right there. So whatever that reference was, it wasn't related to her. If the whole thing was about a younger woman, because I'm sorry, Mandy, you are not a younger woman.
I think she's almost 40. She's probably getting her AARP card anytime now. Let me see if I
can. Let's not go that far.
Let me see if I can.
Just joking.
I'm going to play this for you because it's fucking hilarious. Okay, so this is how she feels harassed. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Let's see. That's it. And that younger woman right there is probably her age. So anyway.
The court doesn't have time for this.
I'm trying to find the baseball. Where's the baseball? He's giving her a smile.
How is that menacing? But this stuff doesn't belong in court. This is stupid. If I were the judge here reading this motion to reconsider, I'd say, I'm going to sanction the attorney that filed this because this is a waste of the court's time. And no, I'm not revisiting. Mandy has to sit for a deposition, suck it up, sit for it. I guess, there are two reasons why she doesn't want to be deposed. One is then she can't talk about the 392 case anymore because there is that gag order. And maybe that does bother her. I don't know. But the other is, what secret does she have that we even care about? I mean, I don't know, but I don't care. If she dated other men, who cares? If she didn't date
she says, let's see, typically open. Okay. The obvious implication of this TikTok is that the content creator, intends to attend Miss Matney's deposition for the purpose of threatening, hold on, let's get this right. The obvious implication is that the purpose is for threatening and intimidating her, perhaps with violence, she says.
Okay, the woman is neurotic as all hell. I try not to say it, but there you go. That's not the obvious implication. It's not even threatening. It's a joke. And you don't get deposed in a courthouse. You get deposed in somebody's law office.
So I know how a deposition works, but she says, setting aside that Cram and Cask content creator clearly does not understand that depositions are neither public nor typically held in open courtrooms. By the way, she's wrong on that because if you go to WebEx, there are some depositions that are online. So you're wrong again.
It's sworn testimony. It can be used in other contexts. It's your testimony under oath.
So you're wrong again. Statements. I mean, how many times have we said she's wrong in just this one
Maybe
thing?
That's what she objects to, though, Jim. Maybe she objects to actually, because you see, if you say it under oath, you're held accountable for it.
Yeah.
So
but this post underscores the unusual public interest in Miss Matney's definition. Unusual public interest in her deposition?
No.
This woman has done nothing but talk about this 392 case for years. And I don't know why all of a sudden she thinks it's unusual public interest. The woman who's lashed out at everybody, made fun of everybody, attacked everybody, called women names, destroys women's reputation, doxes people. She's just wondering why there's unusual public interest. I don't know. Indeed, others comment saying things like, I'll be there too. Okay. And the same creator, frequently posts about Miss Mandy on his website, including publishing a nearly 2,000 word piece in which he quotes from court filings in this matter and accuses Mandy of traveling to avoid the subpoena, not acknowledging that Miss Matney's online content makes clear that she's not traveling to avoid any issued process. Okay, so we're going to call this lie out because that's not what it said. It's not what it said. Here it is. Mandy Matney. She's staying in the sunlight or running from it.
It's a good title, actually. Didn't she at one point say she would rather go to jail than sit for a deposition? I'd rather sit for a deposition. I've not gone to jail, but I'd like not to. And so sitting for a deposition, it's not that big a deal. And Mandy isn't better than or different than I am.
Here's where we're going to call that again. Colon bullshit. Okay. So this is what it says. No one is criticizing Mandy Matney for holding bad men accountable at Good Old Ball Network. And we're invoking the rhetoric of transparency and sunlight. I mean, does she not talk about putting sunlight on everything? Sunlight, it's the great whatever. Everybody drinks from the same cup of justice. But I go on to say what many people object to is something far simpler. When the sunlight that she talks about all the time, in fact, I think they have a podcast called True Sunlight. When the sunlight turns towards her, she runs from it. And what I meant by that was in her motion, she does not want to be deposed. And in her multitude of she said she'd rather go to jail than be deposed. That's what I call running from it. You're running from the deposition. And I say, now from Denver, Colorado. So I didn't say she's running away to Denver. I said she's running away from it. And now from Denver, Colorado, because that's where she was. Imagine hating me when my whole brand is about holding bad men accountable and staying in the sunlight. No, honey, stop that. You don't want to stay in the sunlight at all. You want to run from it because, well, I'm reading it. I'm reading a motion to quash right now. Where else did she just go crazy? Here's her husband, Mr. Matney. I believe the stalkers desperately need professional counseling and mental health intervention. And it's dark and sad that they chose social media violence towards something productive.
Blah, blah, blah. How many times do people gaslight each other saying stuff like that? Knock it off.
And
let's just acknowledge we're all nuts and we all need psychotherapy. If
I might even respect this hateful micro industry. By the way, you guys are the hateful industry. All right. You're the leader in hateful industry. If it made any money, but it doesn't. So there's no value in seeing legal remedy. Well, I'm not here for the money. I never have been here for the money. I don't care about the money. I'm here for the truth. Always have been, always will be. But I know that's probably not for me. That's probably me and Seaton and everybody else that they hate.
You know what it is too,
talk
though,
about behind everybody's back.
Jim. I think that what
they have hundreds of thousands of listeners that support Mandy for exercising all legal avenues to defend themselves against gas-guzzling billionaires and hideous officers of the court.
Wait a minute. There were plural. There's more than one gas-guzzling billionaire. Jim, here's the deal. What we hate, we care about the truth, but we also care about the process. And so, because we don't defend everybody that's lying all the time, but in this context, or in any of these issues, like whether it's, the who killed Paul and Maggie, or what the hell happened to Stephen Smith, or the Gloria Satterfield thing, or any of that, we care about the process, about how this narrative got spun so wildly out of control, and it's so incredibly inaccurate. And I think that's
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, I know that's true of you. I think it's probably true of Seaton Tucker too, and it's probably true of people like Valerie Barline and other journalists who care about. They care about the truth, but more than that, they care about getting an accurate version of what happened out there.
And he goes on to say, The officers of the court, the hideous officers of the court, by the way, that's not harassment, is it?
No.
Attempting to harass her into silence. Mr. Matney, I want to tell you something right now so you understand this. Well, I'm going to try to put two brain cells together here for you. The hideous officers of the court in which you refer to them are not trying to harass your wife into silence. It's just the opposite. They want her to talk.
Right. That's number one.
It's if there's
Under
but he
oath.
says if there's one under oath. If there's one thing I know, it's that gross internet trolls grasping for relevance. Gee, I wonder who's doing that. Mandy, Liz, Eric, and two-bit shill lawyers. I mean, are they making my case for me or not? Are they making their case for me?
So
Can't
they're
shake
attacking
Mandy-
Mike Moore and Deborah Barbier and
and who knows else. Lawyers can't shake Mandy's determination to fight for what's right. We're gonna fight.
I have a feeling they're laughing. I have a
Stay in the
feeling they're
sunlight.
spitting.
Stay in the sunlight. Well, I give them the same advice.
Jim, they're spitting their coffee across the keyboard as they read these filings. I don't think that they're not in awe of Mandy. I think that many people might feel kindly toward her because she seems so vulnerable, because she's so incredibly fucking nuts. She's just totally psychotic. Just my opinion, of course. But so you have sympathy for her, but you're not sitting there with awe and respect that she's advancing any legitimate social purpose. Which reminds me, you were at this trial the other day where I guess that Mandy for a long time has been saying that,
Go ahead.
well, tell me about this.
Well, hold on. So we're not done with this yet. We're not done
Oh,
with this
there's
yet.
more?
Yeah. So Mandy is a frequent targeter of that creator's vitriol and misinformation. By the way, I have had 3 episodes completely dedicated to completely defaming and lying about me on your podcast. So, and on your social media. So stop with that. Let's see. Frequent target, as well as similar content from other similar personalities and internet personalities. Sorry. For example, on February 6, 2026, the day after the court's order, another South Carolina podcaster participated in a conversation on X Twitter in which she gleefully reported that Miss Matney's motion to quash was denied, mocked Miss Matney's social media post about how she has incurred attorney's fees in this matter, and lamented that she should not be privy to as much of Miss Matney's deposition as she would prefer due to the confidentiality order that was entered in this matter, even though inquiring minds want to know. Miss Matney's deposition is undoubtedly going to attract more attention, and this court's order provided no protection at all to Miss Matney to eliminate or limit such harassment related to this litigation, which non-party Miss Matney requested, and the court is empowered to do so. Specifically, the court has protected. So now they're going after Seton.
No, wait, just a minute. They are, but Jim, just a second.
By
So
the way, they've
Mandy
been going
doesn't
after
want
Seton
this.
for years. I've been seeing messages
Right.
going back for
I
years.
saw those too.
How they
hated her.
her.
They hated her when she was a little girl. I mean, they went back to what she
they
was
tried to find
wearing in high school.
bad
But Jim,
college
listen.
pictures. Yeah.
You're right. No, but listen, what Mandy doesn't want is if her deposition is published, the public will scrutinize what she's saying and call her out if she lies. Let's say hypothetically, if Mandy lies in her deposition, which is perjury because it's statements made under oath, then who's better to understand what the lies are than the public that now scrutinize what this woman is saying? So that might be why she fears her deposition being made public. It's kind of like making all the Jeffrey Epstein emails public. Is that the Department of Justice did arguably a horrible job deciding what of merit was in those emails. The public has gone through them and said, well, wait a minute, this is evidence of this, and this is actually this person here. They put together that they had the data and the interest to put together what the hell was going on. And that will be true of Mandy's deposition, because at the heart of it is, like you said, we're talking about this. Mandy says that she did not get a copy of the sizzle reel from Mark Tinsley. And as you pointed out, no, she probably got it from Liz Farrell, who got it from Mark Tinsley. And so that needs to come out because it goes to the heart of of the lawsuit itself. Mark Tinsley has asserted under oath when he signed that complaint that nobody but Mr. Parker could have disseminated that mediation reel or the sizzle reel, and I don't believe that's true.
No, it's not. It gets interesting now. Further highlighting the need for this remedy is the release of thousands. That's not true. That is a lie. Of private text messages between Miss Matney, Miss Farrell, and a third co-worker, Jen Wood, that neither Miss Matney, Miss Farrell, nor, upon information and belief, Miss Wood produced to the Parker's defendants. And that upon information and belief, a former colleague of Miss Matney's, Callie Lyons, who we've had on the show, was not a participant in the text messages obtained from their shared former employer.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, and wrongfully detained before producing them to Parker's defendants. That's a complete
total lie.
Total
None
lie.
of that's true at all.
None of that's true. Callie Lyons, and I'm not speaking for her, so don't take this verbatim, but she said on this show that they were on her, all of them got downloaded onto her personal cell phone, which she had nothing to do with, onto her computer, and she even called and messaged Fitz News to remove it. They did not. She asked them if they want their computer back. They said, we do not, keep it. So these are in her possession.
But there are emails with Callie. Callie is in some of those text messages.
Yeah, for sure.
So Mandy,
serious questions remain about the legality of Miss Lyons.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, they don't. Retention. No, they don't. And production of those text messages. And whether they were illegally obtained. No, they weren't. And those text messages have been widely disseminated and have fueled additional vitriol towards the harassment of Miss Matney. Listen, the vitriol.
We accurately understanding who she is and what she's about and what she's doing behind the scenes.
The vitriol
is not
you saying you protect women while you try to undercut and cut their legs off, figuratively speaking. Call them names, the C word, the B word, every other F word you can think of. The vitriol comes from that because you try to play this flower on the outside, and on the inside you got the three-prong whatever, and just beating the hell out of people with it. That's on you, not on the text messages. Don't blame Callie for your words. And by asking the court to protect Miss Mandy, protect Miss Mandy from her own words, please, is seeking to avoid further wrongful harassment through court-sanctioned processes. And it does not affect the pending gag order. We go on and on and on. So I once again, somehow, because I'm reporting information from an investigation, because I'm a journalist, not an online personality, but hey, I'll take online personality and as well as investigative journalist. And yeah, so that's that. Somehow I made it back in again, which I laughed my ass off when I was coming out of the Welden Boyd immunity hearing yesterday in Myrtle Beach. Actually, it's in Conway.
Do you have some general thoughts about it? It's still ongoing. You said it might wrap up tomorrow. The Welden Boyd.
Yeah, sorry. I just was clicking over. I was going to try to jump in on the live. Looks like they've gone to lunch, so they'll be back at 2. But yeah, so
it's interesting, Jim. So talk about it.
Here's another case that Mandy and Liz have talked about relentlessly. That, somehow this Welden Boyd guy, who I do not know, first time I ever laid eyes on him was yesterday in court. That he chased down Scott Spivey and shot him in the back. I mean, you say those words like that, but like, oh boy, that sounds bad. Kind of like when they were making up all the lies about Alec Murdoch. And wow, you're never going to guess who the attorney is that is the plaintiff's attorney against Weldon Boyd.
Who could it possibly be? Oh no, could it be somebody named Mark Tinsley?
Da, da, da. That was a good one. The crowd liked that one.
I don't
Can
know
you
if that's-
believe it? Another
It's a little
case.
disingenuous to say the
I'm
crowd
telling
liked
you,
it.
the what are the odds that the cases, the big cases that they talk about, Tinsley's the attorney?
I believe he is the only practicing attorney in South Carolina. It has to be, because the only cases
so.
they talk about are his cases.
Boom. Yeah. So anyway, so for years they've been talking about that, and they have got, the crowd, the crowd, the believers that the sky is I don't know. The sky is falling. They'll believe it, that crowd, because Mandy said it, because this is a big deal.
But wait a minute, Jim. That's a horrible thing to accuse somebody of. Kind of like,
well, it's an awful situation for Scott Spivey and his family. I mean, the man is dead, and I'm not here to lay blame on this thing. What I'm going to tell you is what I saw yesterday and what I saw the day before, with people who have no relation to any of these people. They were 911 callers who saw it happening as it was happening, on the phone with 911, making the phone call, going, "Oh my God!" People screaming and hollering. And what people had said is that the black truck, which was the truck that Mr. Spivey was driving, was the one that was driving erratically in and out and was trying to run people off the road. I don't have my notebook here, but the theme constantly was he was running people off the road. People were scared, and the police were originally called for road rage incident because he was waving a gun out the window as well. And Boyd and his passenger, Mr. Williams, were driving, pulling a trailer in a white pickup truck. And then this went on for about 9 miles. And then as Welden Boyd and his trailer were in the lead, Spivey was behind them. They turned off of Highway 9 onto Camp Swamp Road, which is this little kind of cut-through road. And when they did that, they had to slow down because they got the trailer. Scott Spivey, according to the witnesses, pulled in front of him and stopped his truck so that they couldn't move. And the witnesses are talking about, and I was turning on to this as well, and I saw it. And what I saw was Scott Spivey got out of his truck, the man in the black truck, on the 911 calls. Everybody was saying the same thing. The man in the black truck got out of the truck, and he had a gun in his hand. Looked like one guy, he was a firearms guy. He said he had a 9mm, and he even said he had the slide back, but who's going to know that? But he's got a gun, and he's standing in front of Welden Boyd's truck. So he's facing the front end of the truck. And what this other person, and one of the people at the 911 call said, when they drove by, they saw Weldon and they didn't see the passenger. They saw Weldon, and he had a gun pointed out his windshield towards Spivey, but he hadn't done anything with it. And then they said Spivey was standing there, and he started to lift his hand or his arm up. So in the hand that he was holding the gun, he's just started to lift it up, and he goes, and that's when all hell broke loose. And I quote unquote, when all hell broke loose. And then it was pop, 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 pop. And then he says he drove by, and then he didn't see Mr. Spivey again. And people said, well, he got shot in the back. So what happens is when he was standing.
I'll reenact this for him. When he was standing, he got shot through the side and it came out the back. Jim, you've frozen. So good. I'm taking control
Chest
of Jim's
facing
show.
the front of the vehicle. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So then instead of, according to the forensic pathologist, when you say he got shot in the back, was back here. Yep, back there, based off of him this way and his arm raised. So he gets hit technically, yes, in the back, but it's because he's facing sideways. And what happened is the bullet goes in here and it traveled across his back, and it landed and it stayed over here in this fatty muscle tissue area over here. That's what getting hit in the back was. It wasn't like it. And she said, and I quote, Scott Spivey was not shot directly in the back. End of quote. I remember that clearly.
So saying that on air, for Mandy to be saying that is so defamatory. It's so outrageously defamatory, and it's reckless.
Guess what all her fans were saying?
What?
Pathologist was paid off. Crooked,
Gosh.
good old boy. Good old boy.
But the
Here
good
I
old
come.
ones?
The
No!
good old boy network coming
No!
again. Coming in hot with the good old boy network. Yeah, boy.
Oh.
Jim. Because, you know, somebody's life is gone, but Mandy has ruined this case. And has made what she does all the time. Her and Liz and Eric try to make people believe a story that is being sent to them from this particular attorney. And I say that because Liz Farrell said that in her sworn deposition. That's what they do. In fact, sometimes they just take what Mr. Tinsley gives them and prints it verbatim.
Publish it. That's what she said in her deposition.
These are not my words.
Is Mr. Weldon going to sue the whole? There's a technical term for this. I believe it's called suing the crap out of. Is he going to sue the crap out of Mandy? Well, why not throw in Eric Bland? Because Eric should know. Mandy and Liz can say, "Hey, we're stupid. We don't understand defamation." But Eric Bland is an attorney, and he does understand it. And this is defamation per se. So Weldon doesn't even have to prove malice. And
I don't know if he's suing her, but I know he's suing Mark Tinsley. He's suing Mark Tinsley for basically what Parker's is saying is that he's using these journalists to get this word out, and it's not the truth, it's their truth. And so all these witnesses,
the narrative is that they could monetize. Yeah,
I'm surprised that they didn't bring the Parkers into this to say the Parkers got to these witnesses, but they're saying that somebody got to these witnesses. I don't know, the Horry County Police or SLED or the AG or shit. I don't know. Everybody,
they're all part of the Good Old Boys Network.
All part of the Good Old Boy Network. And all they're doing is going up there. In fact, the one guy was like, I want nothing to do with this, but I just happened to be there and I just wanted all this to go away. But between the pathologists and every single person who's gotten up there, what I have heard is that Scott Spivey, in their opinion, and what they saw and what they heard that day in their 911, in their depositions, and on the stand, is that Scott Spivey was the one that was going after him. And according to some analysis from the pathologist yesterday, his blood alcohol content was 0.130, which in the state of South Carolina, you're legally drunk at 0.80, I believe, 0.8. So he was almost twice the legal limit.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not blaming Scott Spivey. I'll let the court figure that one out. I'm just telling you what the people there said. And I'm not blaming Welden Boyd or giving Welden Boyd a free pass. That's up to the judge. And that should be done this week, if not today. Welden Boyd is on the stand today. He wasn't
criminally charged. The state has not criminally charged Mr. Boyd. This is a civil action.
This is immunity from prosecution, basically what he's trying to get here. The Attorney General's office declined to prosecute, which Nancy Mace, God love Nancy Mace, but she unfortunately believed that narrative that's been pushed out there that he was chased and shot in the back, and that's just not the case.
Political. If Alan Wilson says, I think grass is green, Nancy Mace is going to object to it,
right?
Because
but my point is that she's believing people that she shouldn't believe. You need to call Crime and Cask. You need to call me, Congressman Mace, because I'll give you the truth every single time. I'm not going to paint it, fairy tale it, have an agenda. I don't care what anybody's agenda is. I'll give you the straight truth, and I never would have given you that truth. In fact, my article, which I took from the 911 calls, everybody was going after, but it appears to be the truth now, according to the witnesses. Anyway, so she tried coming there, and the judge had a very strict order, which was once my courtroom begins, no one is allowed in. If you go out, you can't come back in until a next break. So if you have to go to the bathroom, that's fine. Go to the bathroom. You can't come back in. Well, apparently, Congressman Mace tried to get in after, and she was denied. I wasn't there that day. I was still in Charleston. I was trying to get out. I just couldn't get out. I had a bunch of doctor's appointments. But anyway, so I was trying to get out, but I got late and I just couldn't make it.
The doctor's appointments went well?
Yeah, they went great.
Yeah. Okay, Jim, you did something else even more exciting recently. You got together a group of people. I don't know if we have enough time to talk about it, though. But
honestly, it's another show. We've gone almost an hour on this.
Yeah. So let's do another
that.
show.
We'll give them a little teaser. How about that?
Absolutely.
Because this one,
yes.
and then I can go get a drink and
I can change this fabulous shirt and we can do it again. Like it's another day. We'll deceive
like
our
they do
audience.
like they do in the game shows. So
sure.
Changing. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, and this concerns the Alec Murdoch trial. And the state says that Alec Murdoch is the single shooter with 2 guns that killed Paul and Maggie on June 7th, 2021. And I was like, in my first book, Defending Alec Murdoch, Not Guilty by Reasonable Doubt, I talk about how it's just not possible. And I talk about it. It's physics. It's time, distance, and speed. That's it. It's physics. And I know people like Mandy and her crew can't understand that because we're still trying to put these 2 little brain cells together to come up with something besides Good Old Boy Network. But
we're trying to get them to spark, to ignite, so that something in that brain actually works.
Yeah. So what I did was, I was in Walterboro this week, and I assembled a team of 2 firearm experts who are ex law enforcement and 2 private detectives. And so there was 5 of us there, and we outlined down to the inch of the hangar and the dog kennels, where they're positioned. We're out on this big range. There was a ton of land, and I have, you'll see it. I'll have the caution tape all around. And we have them try. These are trained men who are in shape, who are firearms experts. We try to have them do, in the time allotted that the state says this happened, 1 shooter, and then we went with the 2 shooter. And in this next episode, you're going to see proving Alex Murdoch couldn't have done it and didn't do it. You're going to see the video. We're going to show you the video of what these professionals did and how they did it. And yeah. And I don't think anybody in the entire planet has ever done this, including Dick and Jim, including the prosecution, the state of South Carolina, crime and Cask investigation. Mandy Matney didn't do it. Eric Bland didn't do it. Liz Farrell certainly didn't do it. Crime and Cask investigations. We went out, we did it, and we did it with professionals, and we did it the right way. And you're going to be able to see for yourself how it was 1 shooter or 2 shooters. We'll see. Anyways, that's in the next episode of Swamp Justice Radio. Please, Mandy, do everybody a favor and try to put those brain cells together and stop using Good Old Boy Network. I mean, it's just...
The phrase bothers you. I agree.
It doesn't bother me.
It's worn out. It's worn out, and it's not, try harder, Mandy. Try harder. Set the bar higher.
Set the bar higher. I get it. All right. 97.7 WVFFM. What do we got? Veterans and Freedom Radio, Truth and Broadcasting Corporation.
Wait a minute. Do we actually have them or not? Do they have us?
I don't know.
Okay.
They should if they don't.
Love them. Love those guys.
We are Swamp Justice Radio, coming to you on YouTube, TikTok. Find Elaine over at X, her favorite place. Her and Elon Musk hanging out together.
Yes, Elon, my buddy.
Yep. And we'll see you next time on Swamp Justice Radio. Crab and Cask out. See ya.